I always joked my mom could smell a lie before it left your mouth, until I learned she liked one so much she wore it like perfume. Mom's phone buzzed on the kitchen bench while she was outside hosing the driveway. I didn't go snooping, I glanced. A preview line. I miss you too, don't tell her. The contact name wasn't mine, but the avatar was a photo of me at Piha 2 summers ago. I'm 24, working shifts at a physio clinic, saving for a flat that smells more like vanilla diffuser than the neighbor's curry. Tom, my boyfriend, is 26. He isn't fireworks. He's a bridge steady, carrying weight without sound. Mom always liked him, or so I thought. The driveway hissed, the hose clicked off, and I stared at that little circle with my face in it while panic ran a lap around my ribs. I texted Tom, casual but not random. Have we messaged today since breakfast? He replied fast, Nope, busy at site, you okay? If Tom wasn't texting me, who was texting him using my photo from my mom's phone? I tried to logic out of it. Maybe Mom was messaging a friend about me. Maybe I miss you too was innocent. Then another preview appeared. Wish you were in my bed. Adrenaline tasted metallic. That sentence doesn't misread itself. I didn't touch her phone. I washed the dishes instead, my alibi clinking in the sink. Mom came in and wiped her screen with the tea towel like tidying solved ethics. Long day? She asked. Big day. I called my best friend Priya and told the story in hypotheticals. She said either Tom was cheating, Mom was interfering, or both. Then she offered a fourth option, someone playing matchmaker in the worst way. I thought of Mom's tests. At 14, she mailed my pen pal pretending to be me because my handwriting was too immature for serious girls. I didn't speak to her for a week. She called it quality control. That night, Tom came over with a six-pack. My chest did its loyal dog thing, tail wag heart, edges softened. The hose incident felt unreal until I saw Mom watching him with that assessing brightness. Not flirtatious. Appraising, like she'd built him in a lab and was checking tolerances. During the ad break of a renovation show, she said, Tom, could you help me change the laundry light? My shoulder's tight. It was a fluorescent tube. He followed her. I pretended to scroll while counting footsteps. They were gone 7 minutes. Tom looked normal when they returned. Mom had a floaty glow she gets when she's achieved an outcome she can't name yet. The laundry light blazed like a surgical theater. Tea? She chirped. Tea, we echoed. Priya had given me a plan that felt mildly illegal but perfectly rational. Ask Tom for his phone casually. Not to trawl just to look for messages from me. If he hesitated, that was a data point. If he handed it over, I'd have facts. I didn't have to ask. After dinner, door half closed like we were teenagers, Tom said, You've been weird. Here. He passed me his phone. What do you want to see? Our thread, I said. It was normal. Memes, a photo of his broken tape measure, my rant about a client who wanted a miracle in 12 reps. Anything else? He asked, face open. If someone messaged you pretending to be me, would you know? If it came from your number, I'd assume it's you. If not, I'd ask. Why? I told him about the kitchen preview, the Piha photo, Mom wiping her screen like sanitizing the evidence. He squeezed my hand, not comforting, anchoring. Can I be honest? Your mom texts me sometimes. My ribcage found a new shape. What does she say? Check-ins. How's our girl? Your schedule. A recipe once. Nothing flirty. He winced at the word. He showed me the thread. It was exactly that. Practical. Occasionally cringy, my scholar, a photo of me reading. No, wish you were in my bed. No, don't tell her. Different thread, I said too quickly. Different number. This is the only number I have for your mom, he said. Any other messages with my photo? I asked. He searched his phone by my name. 100 benign results, nothing radioactive. I wanted to file the preview under misunderstood and go back to the show where people knocked down walls they never needed. Then a thought tapped me on the shoulder. What if those messages weren't to Tom? I slept badly. In the morning, Mom was already up, hair in a purposeful bun, making lists on the back of an envelope. She loves people via predictions of doom. Morning, she said. Morning. I poured coffee. I'm meeting Priya. Might be late. Tell Priya to stop letting her boyfriend borrow the car, Mom said. He'll leave her with a timing belt tragedy. Safety via surveillance. At a cafe with the loudest grinder in the city, I told Priya everything. She tapped her straw like a conductor finding tempo. 2 paths. Confront my mom or run a controlled experiment. I groaned about experiments. She said I loved results. The plan. Borrow Mom's phone to order something with her saved card, mirror the screen to my laptop, and search messages for "Don't tell her." If it existed, we could stop guessing. Back home, Mom sat on the carpet, pulling photos from albums for a digital backup project that's lasted 6 years. She held up the Piha picture and smiled like a vault, pretending to be a window. Can I borrow your phone to order the spine supports Dad likes? I asked. They're on special. My card's maxed. She handed me the phone without comment, interesting in itself. I went to my room, opened the shop page, mirrored her screen to my laptop because the card is easier to see, then opened messages and searched, "Don't tell her." 3 results appeared. The first was Ben, our neighbor's older son, the shirtless fence fixer who flirts with air. 6 months ago. Ben, she's gonna freak. Mom, she doesn't need to know every detail. Ben, this feels wrong. Mom, only because you're on it. That's rare. Mom, don't tell her. The second was my uncle. Uncle, I'll be in town Friday. Mom, better not tell her yet. Don't tell her. The third was Tom. Not their normal thread, a new number, unnamed. My photo as the avatar, a picture only she had. Morning. Thinking about you, she wrote. Pretending to be me. Haha, morning. You okay? Tom replied. Missed you last night. I was at yours till 11? Wish you were in my bed. Lol, you're being weird. Don't tell her. Later, I would learn Tom has filter unknown senders on, so those messages lived in the unknown senders tab, and he never saw them as coming from me. My hands shook as I screenshotted. Then I scrolled. Weeks of messages. My voice, written by her, compliments, jealousy tests, boundary tests. Tom's replies were polite but puzzled. Once he asked, "Who is this really?" The burner went silent for 2 days. I didn't cry. I felt bright and cold, like someone had handed my soul surgical scrubs. I closed messages and completed the spine support order like a ceremonial bow. I walked to the living room. Mom was arranging frames like cardboard tarot. I used your phone, I said lightly. Order's done. Good girl, she said, satisfied by my obedience, like a small trick well performed. Also, I added, still pleasant, I read the messages you sent Tom from the other number. She went still. Not guilty alert. A deer turning to a sound in a field where everything looks the same until it doesn't. Excuse me? She said. You heard me. I saw the messages. And the piha photo? For the first time in my life, Mom didn't have words ready. She reached for a frame like it could shield her from language. I watched her calculate and saw the sum keep changing. You weren't supposed to see that, she said at last. Obviously, I said. Why did you do it? She blinked. Then she smiled, a smile that treats explanations like tools to move people, to protect you, she said. She said it like a doctor giving a vaccine. Calm, practiced. I felt the needle anyway. Protect me how? I asked. By finding out if he could be trusted, she said. Pressure tests reveal weaknesses. You should thank me. I laughed once, the kind that sounds like a cough. You pretended to be me. I imitated your tone, she said. Not you. A version of you that a dishonest man would answer. He did answer. He answered because you baited him out of nowhere from an unknown number, I said. He was confused. He even asked who it was. That was part of the test. You failed your own test, I said. Because you wanted me to. She tilted her head like a teacher waiting for a better answer on the second try. You don't see the big picture yet, she said. Men say anything. I've lived long enough to recognize patterns. I disrupt them. You don't disrupt patterns, I said. You manufacture them. Her smile thinned. You're being dramatic. You're being dishonest, I said. Silence settled like dust after a broken vase. She started stacking frames into piles. Family, holidays, me. Tom wasn't in any of them. He hadn't been around long enough to make it into print. Delete the number, I said. Now, she didn't move. You don't give me orders in my house, she said. I'm not ordering, I said. I'm asking you to stop impersonating me. You don't understand the risk you're in, she said. You think love is a feeling? It's not. It's logistics. It's planning. It's preemptive mitigation. You sound like you're running a disaster site, I said. Not a family. She blinked. Families are disaster sites sometimes. I wanted to scream. I didn't. I opened my hands like I was letting a bird go and found nothing in them. I'm going to tell Tom, I said. She shrugged. Tell him. If he's strong enough, he'll pass the conversation too. I walked to my room and texted Tom. I sent 3 screenshots and nothing else. He called within 5 seconds. What am I looking at? He asked. Voice too even. My mom, I said, pretending to be me. He didn't fill silence with words the way some people do. He let it be. Then he said, come over. I can't tonight, I said. I want to do this right. Then tomorrow, he said. 9, coffee. I'll be home. Okay. I hung up and sat on the carpet. The house felt like it was breathing through its teeth. Mom knocked softly and stepped in without waiting. You've always been impulsive, she said. You should sleep on it. Close the door, I said. She didn't. She stood there, a figure in the gap, like a scene change that never finishes. You're angry, she said. Anger makes you easy to manipulate. I'm angry because I was manipulated, I said. Not effectively, she said. You found out. That's good news. It's not good, I said. It's just exposed. Exposure heals, she said. Sunlight is disinfectant. You're not sunlight, I said. You're a torch looking for things to burn. She left without replying. I slept like someone guarding a tent in a windstorm. Every sound was a decision. In the morning, she made eggs as if we were a normal mother and daughter living a normal Tuesday. I ate toast because chewing felt like work. I'm seeing Tom at 9, I said. Wonderful, she said. Tell him I say hi. I won't, I said. I walked out before she could answer. The sky looked like laundry, cloudy but clean. On the train, I rehearsed sentences I would probably not say. Sorry this happened, I didn't do it. I didn't know. We can fix this if you want to. We don't have to if you don't. Tom opened the door with a face like he'd stayed up doing maths. Calm, tired, accurate. He made coffee without asking. 2 sugars for me, none for him. The kind of tiny kindness you only notice when someone threatens to take it away. I want the truth without edits, he said. You have it, I said. She used a second number. She used my photo. She tested you. She tests everyone. She told me it was to protect me. From me? He asked. From not knowing, I said. He rubbed the back of his neck. I thought it was a scam, he said. Unknown number. Weird tone. I didn't connect dots. I didn't think your mom would do this. She did, I said. And it wasn't just you, the neighbor, my uncle. She's been editing my life. He nodded slowly. Okay. I braced for the next words. Goodbye. Not worth it. Too much. He surprised me. What do you need from me? He asked. The question sat in the air like a soft chair. I wanted to sit in it forever. I need you to meet with her, I said. With me, I don't want any shadow words later. I want one conversation where everyone has to use their legal names. He smiled tiredly. Legal names? He said. All right. Tonight? I asked. Tonight? He said. I texted Mom from his kitchen. She replied within seconds. Of course, she wrote. 6? 7, I replied. At home. All of us? She wrote. All of us, I wrote. Tom and I spent the day doing ordinary things with extraordinary concentration. Groceries, a small repair. We kept catching each other looking, and then looking away. It wasn't romantic. It was real. At 6:40, we walked up the front steps of the house I grew up in. The wood creaked an old, familiar sentence. Dad's car was in the drive. He was home early. That made me feel both safer and more nervous. Mom had laid out tea things like a commercial. Fresh milk in a little jug. Scones. Napkins folded into triangles. Dad stood by the window pretending to read the paper. We appreciate you coming, Mom said to Tom, voice sugary enough to pull a fill. Thanks for having me, he said, polite like a fence. I didn't sit. No speeches, I said. We're going to read what you wrote. Then I'm going to say how it made me feel. Then Tom will say how it made him feel. Then we decide what to do next. Mom lifted her chin like a conductor indulging a student. Go on, she said. I put my phone on the table. Tom put his on the table. My hands shook a little as I opened the screenshots. The words looked worse in a house full of them. Morning, thinking about you. Missed you last night. Wish you were in my bed. Don't tell her. Dad made a small noise he probably didn't mean to make. Mom didn't look at him. She looked at me. It's mock dialogue, she said. A script to elicit truth. It's impersonation, I said. A script to create doubt. She spread her hands. And did it create doubt? It created disgust, I said. It made me feel like my face isn't mine. Like my voice is property. Tom cleared his throat. It made me feel like you don't trust your daughter at all, he said. And it made me feel like I had been pulled into a game without consent. It's a dang 72. Games show people's instincts, Mom said. You were polite. That's an instinct I approve. Dad finally spoke. Helen, he said softly. Her name sounded like a fragile item. What are we doing? We are doing what we have always done, she said, preventing harm. At any cost? He asked. At a reasonable cost, she said. I turned to Dad. Did you know? I asked. He looked at the floor. I knew your mom likes to organize, he said. I didn't know about the messages. She's done versions of this before, I said. Pen pals, uni tutors, Priya's mom, the neighbor. It's a method now, not an accident. Mom's eyes flashed. A method that keeps you safe, she said. It keeps me small, I said. No one moved. The clock ticked like a metronome in a rehearsal that had gone wrong. I want 2 things, I said. You delete the number in front of us, and you agree to stop contacting anyone in my life without telling me. 3 things, Tom said. You tell us if anyone else received messages pretending to be her. All of them. Now. Mom considered. I can delete the number, she said. I can promise to inform you when I reach out. As for others, no conditions, I said. No riddles. Her mouth tightened. She picked up her phone like it was heavy and scrolled. She tapped. She opened the unknown sender's thread. She hit delete. She turned the screen to show the empty list. There, she said. That's one, I said. And I will inform you before contacting anyone, she said. That's two, I said. Now the list. She sighed like wind through a gap in a door. Ben, she said. Your uncle. Your manager at the clinic. The receptionist at your dentist. The hairdresser once. To check pricing. And Tom, my scalp tingled like pins. My manager? I asked. What did you say? That you struggle with early starts, she said. That your productivity spikes after 10. I was advocating. You were undermining, I said. You made me sound unreliable. She said you were excellent with clients, Mom said quickly. I made sure to include compliments. I pressed my thumb against my phone so hard the case clicked. You will email my manager today, I said. You will tell her you overstepped. You will say you will never do it again. I can say I shouldn't have, she said. You will say you will never do it again, I said. Her gaze hardened. You don't dictate my language. Then you don't access my life, I said. Dad stepped between us like a bookend placed gently back on a shelf. He said, we are not doing semantics to avoid responsibility. Mom's jaw flexed. Fine, she said. I'll write it. Tom looked at me. Do you feel safe here? He asked, low. I'm fine, I said automatically. Then I heard myself and changed it. I don't know. Come stay with me for a few days, he said. Think without the hose in the background. Mom's head snapped. Don't be ridiculous, she said. She lives here? I'm 24, I said. I can choose where I sleep. You won't be able to think clearly away from home, she said. I can't think clearly here, I said. She drew a breath like a swimmer about to dive. If you leave angry, you'll regret it, she said. You'll come back and the house will have changed shape. That's what happens. I'm not leaving angry, I said. I'm leaving awake. Dad nodded, slow and sad. I'll help you pack, he said. I went to my room and took the bag that knows how to fill itself. Jeans, work shirts, the book I was pretending to read, the lotion that actually smells like vanilla. I hesitated at my desk and then slid a small notebook into the pocket. It was the one I used when I trained as a student. Sets, reps, notes, it made the future feel measurable. Priya texted, "How's it going?" I wrote back. Imagine a meeting run by a fire alarm. Tom waited by the door with his keys, polite again, steady again, a bridge again. Dad walked us out. Mom didn't. The porch light flicked on even though the sun hadn't set. At Tom's place, I stood in the quiet and let my body realize it wasn't braced. He handed me water like it was medicine. We didn't talk for a while. You can love silence when you trust the person it sits with. I'm going to change my number, I said eventually, and put a pin on my account, and check my iCloud. I'll help, he said. We'll lock it down. I hate that phrase, I said. It's yours now, he said. We ate something simple and then lay on the couch not touching. I texted Dad to say I was safe. He replied with a thumbs up and a heart like a man learning a new language at 49. At midnight, my phone buzzed. Unknown number, a text in clean font. Please don't do this. You're being unkind. I stared at it until the words blurred. I showed Tom. He nodded and turned his screen so I could see his messages. The same number had messaged him 2 minutes earlier. She's escalating, he said. The typing bubble appeared on mine. Disappeared, appeared, disappeared. Then a new message landed. You don't know what I had to stop. I typed, erased, typed, erased. Then I wrote back 3 words. What did you stop? The reply came fast. You were about to make a mistake, she wrote. I can prove it. A second message arrived before I could answer. Check your email, she wrote. I sent you what he sent her. My thumb hovered over the mail app like it might bite. I opened it anyway. Subject line, proof. The sender was a burner I didn't recognize. Inside, 1 paragraph and 2 attachments. The paragraph said, you were about to make a mistake. I saved you. The first attachment was a screenshot of a chat. The second was a short screen recording that scrolled the same chat, like she knew I'd say the screenshot was cropped. Blue and gray bubbles. A contact named just S. Hearts. A winky face. A photo thumbnail of a cake with sparklers. A line from Tom, you looked beautiful tonight. A line from S. Wish you were here now. Then Tom again, soon. I felt the floor tilt. I grabbed the bench with my free hand and breathed slow so my vision stayed on. I walked to the couch and showed Tom. He didn't flinch. He watched the screen recording until it ended. Then he said, very carefully, that is my sister. I blinked. Your sister? Sasha, he said. We call her S. She's been planning Mom's 50th. That cake is a test cake. We use hearts. We always have. My family speaks emoji like normal people speak adverbs. He's called to. My mind didn't want to accept the relief. It felt like arriving at a stair that wasn't there. Then why does it read like flirting? Because whoever recorded this scrolled just enough to imply it, he said, but not enough to show the context. Watch. He opened his Instagram, searched Sacha, and pulled up their thread. Same tiny cake thumbnail. Same blue and gray bubbles. The full messages changed shape with context. You looked beautiful tonight turned into, you looked beautiful tonight in the photo you sent of the dress you're wearing to Mom's dinner. Wish you were here now turned into wish you were here now because we need you to taste test lemon versus vanilla, and Dad is zero help. Soon was soon, I'll finish at sight and swing by for 10 minutes. Stop panicking. He scrolled further up to last month. A screenshot of a flight booking, family calendar reminders, a picture of their dog in a ridiculous sweater. I let the breath leave me in one piece. She wants it to look like cheating. She wants it to look like anything but what it is, he said. Which is a family chat. I replayed the screen recording with new eyes. The screen name S sat next to a cropped profile picture. The crop cut off the dog. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know. I texted the burner back. One line. That's his sister. The typing bubble appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Blood lies too, she wrote. I put my phone on the coffee table and pressed both palms into my eyelids until colors bloomed behind them. When I opened my eyes, Tom was already moving. He set a glass of water in front of me like it was a ritual. I'm going to end this now, I said. No more back and forth in the dark. We drove back to the house because I didn't want this conversation living in my inbox. The porch light was on again, early. The hose lay coiled like a sleeping snake. Mom opened the door before we knocked. She had the expression she uses at funerals. Controlled compassion. Ready to manage. You saw the email, she said. I saw the crop, I said. S is Sacha, you know that. She spread her hands. I know what it looked like. You know what you made it look like, I said. Tom stayed beside me. Not in front of me, not behind me. You cut the message, he said. You cut the context. I cut the noise, she said. I left the signal. The signal you wanted, I said. You don't find patterns, you force them. Her jaw tightened. I am trying to save you from disappointment. You are too young to anticipate. I am trying to save me from a lifetime of you inside my pockets, I said. Dad stepped into the hallway like he'd been waiting for a cue. We're not doing this with the door open, he said gently. We stepped inside. He closed it. I put my phone on the hall table and turned the screen towards Mom. You are going to stop now, I said. Not slow down, stop. You can't instruct me, she said. You don't understand the threats. You are the threat, I said. It landed. She almost flinched. Then she recovered into the shape of the person who always has a plan. Fine, she said. Say your terms. Boundaries, I said. Not terms. Then say them. You don't contact anyone in my life without telling me first, I said. Not informing after. Before. You don't impersonate me anywhere, for any reason. You don't set tests. If you are worried about someone, you tell me and I decide what to do. If you break any of this once, I go no contact for a while. If you break it twice, I go no contact for longer. If you break it 3 times, I go no contact without a return date. She laughed, a single disbelieving sound. You think you can negotiate with your mother like a union? I think I can draw a line around my life and ask you not to walk over it, I said. Tom added quietly. And you email her manager tonight to clarify you overstepped. That matters. Mom looked to Dad like she expected him to rescue her from the terms. He didn't. He looked at me instead. I'll drive her to her therapist tomorrow if she agrees, he said, and I'll check the email is sent. Mom's eyes flashed at therapist. I don't need a stranger to translate me to my own family. We need a stranger, I said, because your love speaks a language we cannot live in. The silence after that wasn't empty. It was full of something shifting. She sat down on the stairs as if her legs had decided for her. When you were 6, she said, you wandered off in the supermarket. I found you because I listened for your shoes. They squeaked. You were laughing at the cereal mascots. I thought I would die, and also that I should never let you out of my sight again. The second part stuck. I felt the ground tilt again. Not from panic this time, from history. Then you should have learned a different lesson, I said softly. I learned mine, she said. It's hard to unlearn. That doesn't make it my homework, I said. We sat there in a triangle of breath. A car passed outside. Somewhere a dog barked at nothing. Will you agree? I asked. To the boundaries. Her shoulders lifted, fell. Yes, she said. The word sounded like it had to find its way around pride. And the therapist? Dad said. She hesitated. I will try, she said. Try isn't a plan, I said. I will go to 3 sessions, she said after a long moment. If after 3 I see no point, I stop. Go to 6, Dad said. We've been married 28 years. We can give it 6. 6, she said, as if the number itself bit her. Tom looked at me. I nodded. It was enough for tonight. Not forgiveness, a blueprint. We went back to his place because I needed a room that didn't have a decade of echoes in it. I slept like a person on a ferry who finally trusts the boat. The week after was logistics. I changed my number. I set account pins. I added 2-factor to everything that blinked. Tom sat with me while I did it, a quiet witness who passed me the charger when my battery sank to red. I forwarded the email to Dad and asked him to keep it in case we needed a record later. He replied with "got it" and a period, which is how he signs things he understands even if he hates them. Mom went to therapy. She told me after the first session that the woman was surface level and obvious. After the second, she said irritating but not stupid. After the third, she said nothing at all. After the fourth, she texted me a picture of the therapist's business card like proof of attendance. After the fifth, she didn't text anything. After the sixth, she wrote, "I didn't die." I moved into a room in a small flat with windows that made winter honest. I put my vanilla diffuser on the sill and watched it send up tiny ghosts. I bought a second set of sheets so laundry day didn't feel like a crisis. I learned where the light switch is in the dark. Tom and I didn't try to paste romance over the top. We went for walks that didn't end in declarations. We sat on the same side of the booth sometimes, like teenagers who had learned to be quiet. He fixed the wobbly leg on my op shop table. I reminded him to drink water on hot days. Ordinary is a luxury you only notice when it returns. Dad visited twice by himself, with boxes from the garage and a bag of oranges he told me to leave on the bench to scent the place. He told me Mom was doing the homework with a face like she's chewing bark, and then smiled like he loved her anyway. I do too. I'm just not willing to be her project. On a Sunday morning a month later, Mom texted me. No unknown number, no theater, just her name on my screen. "Can I bring scones?" she wrote. "And behave?" I stared at the words for a long time. Then I typed, "Yes. 1 hour. We'll sit by the window." She arrived punctual, like always. She stood in the doorway holding the tin and looked smaller than I remembered. Or maybe I had grown. We drank tea and talked about nothing for 20 minutes. Weather. The neighbor's cat. A recipe she tried and failed. She kept her hands on her knees like they were reminders. When we ran out of neutral, the topic shifted like a chair scrapes. "I want to say I'm sorry," she said, eyes on the tin. "For all of it, for pretending to be you, for telling myself it was protection when it was control." The therapist said I confused proximity with safety. That sounded stupid until I heard myself explain it. I nodded, because the version of me that wanted this apology also wanted to believe it. "Thank you," I said. "That matters." "I also want to say it won't be overnight," she said. "This will be like teaching a left hand to write. But I will do it with the pen you give me, not the one I stole. It wasn't poetry. It was enough." We agreed on a schedule for seeing each other. We wrote the boundaries again on paper and stuck them on her fridge like we were labeling school lunches. She didn't laugh at the visual. She took a photo of the paper like she might actually want the reminder. On her way out, she paused at the door and turned back. "You won't hate me forever, will you?" she asked softly. "If I fail sometimes." "I will hate the behavior," I said. "Not you. That's the deal." She nodded. "I can live with that." After she left, I sat on the floor with my back to the couch and let everything drain without drama. Not relief, not grief. Something like blood coming back to a limb. That night, Tom and I watched a stupid movie about a heist that could never work and laughed in the same places. Between scenes, he reached over without looking and squeezed my hand once. No big speech. No performative trust test, just the warm press of bone and skin and the message it carried. We are still here. I don't think life is a set of crises you win with logistics. I think it's a set of rooms you learn to leave when the oxygen turns thin. I left the right room. Summary of the whole thing in one breath. Because sometimes that's all strangers on the internet want from a story. My mom catfished my boyfriend and cropped proof to look like cheating. We confronted her together. I moved out and drew hard boundaries. She's doing therapy, and I'm learning how to love her without letting her run my life. And Tom and I are okay.